morning, everybody, and welcome to another Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I will be your guide for today. Today's going to be a general reading and free Chatbar readings. Also, just like to say that I am an intuitive counsellor, and so if you want a real reading from me, then like a one-on-one through Zoom, then all of the descriptions and everything is down below. And what else? I have been creating the most incredible stepping through a new portal videos. So the first one was on the elemental world. The second one was on the future, potential, humanity's potential and where we can go. And this third one is on Pleiades. And it just so happened that I found out after I had initiated this like 2 weeks ago, with the Pleiadians, that this is an actual great veil, a thinning of the veil between the Pleiades and humanity. So perfect timing. I mean, obviously nothing happens by chance. I'm already energetically tapped in. So I just follow my soul, my guide, and the feeling that I get. And I can't even describe the feelings that I'm getting from these beautiful beings that have been guiding me through the messages and the visuals in my mind. I'm really doing my very, very best to be able to gift you guys the same feelings as what I'm getting through, so that it ignites you, and we can start grounding this energy onto earth. That's the whole reason why I do these through the portal, stepping through a portal videos. So you can see them on my YouTube. Just subscribe to me and you'll see an update. I'm just going to keep going until they tell me to stop with those. So I think that there's going to be quite a few more. Hey Marla, hey Shelley, hey Suzette, hey Rita, hey Sasha, good to see you guys. So today's general reading, first up, yesterday I got pretty powerful messages about, it was to do with allowing this new energy and how we actually navigate through it. It is a completely different, kind of like fish out of a water kind of a thing happening at the moment with humanity. Imagine, not a very good thing to imagine, but imagine if there was somebody who was enslaved all their life, and been told what to do all their life. And then all of a sudden they're set free, but they're in a forest and there's trees growing fruit and there's water there, but they've always had someone telling them what to do. It's that sort of feeling of here we are in this new paradigm, this new energy that's literally helping guide us to becoming more sovereign and more authentically ourselves. And we're like, holy crap, but usually we have someone telling us what to do, and it's such an unknown space to be in, to be able to trust your soul, the observer, the fun that you're going, letting go of all of the traumas, all the past and everything that we've gone through. So yeah, it's a really interesting time at the moment to just allow the experiences to unfold, instead of just tuning in as well. I will pull a general reading. I've also asked my guides to give me some more lowdown on my own personal journey, and I got 3 or 4 dreams, which I actually put up on my website just this morning, all on one day and one night, and I don't usually dream that much these days. And they were all poignant to the shift that I had to go through and allowing this process to happen. So the first one, I was in a car with 3 other people, and I saw a spark of light in the forest, and I'm like, slow down, stop. And the driver saw it as well. And the driver stepped out to see this. Whatever he saw, he went further than me, and then I stepped out to see this spark in the forest, and it ended up being like a time-warpy kind of portal tunnel that took me into a different timeline. So I was in the 1960s all of a sudden, and I didn't know where I was, because I was born in 67, but this was even early 60s. And I'm like, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know anything. And then when I came out of that dream, I realized we have to be very careful in these moments with this new frequencies and these new energies that's coming, that we don't end up tagging on to past issues, what happened in like, we've gone through this purging of all the past stuff. We need to stay more present at the moment. That was one of the biggest lessons, that we have to stay in the present moment as much as we can. We're not going to be able to catch every single thought. So it's more of the case of, when you catch it, just go, okay, well, I realize I'm going into a deep, dark hole there, and I'll end up getting stuck and lost in that hole. I need to bring myself back to present moment as quickly as possible. Don't allow other energies to come in at you. That was another dream I had, of allowing too many other energies coming at me. Stay really present with yourself. That's really important too. Invite only. So if you haven't invited them into your energy, then just, or if they come in and they invite and say hi, and then you decide whether you want them in your life or not. So be very cautious. It's just because at the moment we're going through such a huge transition of being that new person in this whole new paradigm of trying to figure out, how do we, instead of following somebody like a leader or some other person telling us what our life should be like, to follow our soul, our own passion, our own desire. It's kind of like, if you woke up in the morning and you said to yourself, okay, the normal program that happens in the old days, and this is the one we're letting go of, would be like, we've planned our day out, right? So every single day we get up, we brush our hair or whatever, we brush our teeth, and we get our breakfast, and we get ready for work, and then we go to work, and it's all very planned out, very logical plan. And that's how the Matrix has caught us into this plan. But there's no following any of the new energies that are coming at us. So really, if you are following the new energy, it could be that you wake up in the morning with vitality, you've got lots of energy, and you want to go do something, and you're like, wow, I can use this energy for something. If you were just following what they told us to do, or our logical mind told us to do, we would end up not utilizing that energy. But if you're following your soul, you go, well, before I go to work, I'm going to clean the house. So you start cleaning the house, and then you find out in the afternoon when you come home, which is the time you would have normally cleaned the house logically, you've got this time, this space, and you go rest. And when you're resting, because the energy is more conducive, that's coming at us for resting and allowing and receiving, we end up receiving messages. So that's what I mean by following. You don't want to throw everything out at the moment. We're slowly starting to learn how to navigate these new energies and just trusting them as we're going. That sort of thing that's happening at the moment. It's a real shift in the way that we think and feel and tap into, and not just go like a robot. Everything has to be exactly the same all the time, because that makes me feel safe and I know I'll get everything done. But then you might have come home feeling, the energies, if you were doing it the logical way, you might have come home and felt the energies from would have been really, in line with you receiving and needing to nurture yourself, and yet you've got all that housework to do, right? And you haven't done it. So that's what I mean by that sort of thing. Hey, everybody. Good to see you, Amy, Kelly, Leanne, Elize, Mark. Good to see everyone. Okay, let's get into the energy of now. So just be aware of how you're feeling, and everybody is going to be feeling differently through these new energies as well. We all, as like one energy might affect somebody differently than another. So don't expect that everybody is in the receiving mode when you are. It might affect them in a different way, because we are all individually carrying our own stuff that we need to sort through. Okay, so the first three cards that we have got is the Palace of Wands, and then we got the Three of Wands, and then we got the Five of Cups. Okay, so I'm just going to hold them up there. So we've got the Palace was in reverse. So Palace of Wands is usually a place of, for me, like a business transaction, like a place where you're doing something. And this to me means that we're getting ready to do something. And it's like the palace is like, when it's upright, it's like the coolest place to do something. Like you're in the zone with everything that you're doing. And in reverse is like to me, it's feeling like getting ready for that. Three of Wands is, see, he's on a boat ship imagining this new adventure that's coming in, which kind of goes with the Palace of Wands in reverse, imagining, putting out into the ether, the imaginings. And it's really interesting, the more I tap into this Pleiadian energy and the more that they're gifting me with how they work on in the solar systems of Maya and Tegeta, how they work with each other, how their system works, is giving me that insight of, oh my God, this is what humanity can do. We can go to these places, we can ground these energies, we can bring them in on Gaia, and we can learn to work with them. So it's like allowing your mind to have an adventure and just sit with that and see how that feels to you, and is it feeling good for you? So also then we've got the Five of Cups, which is a reminder, just like I have in my dreams that I was just talking about, to not look at the old program and the old past anymore, because we're going to be missing this new energy of opportunities that's coming our way if we're constantly in the loop of going over and over. I mean, how long do we have to do the purging? How long do we have to look at the past? How long do we have to make sure, when is it that we actually stand in our power? When she stood up, she could see those two cups behind her. So when is it that you actually stand up and say, I'm not going to be doing that over and over, and if I do, I'm just going to catch myself. I'm not going to get down on myself. There's no guilt in this. And that was the other dream that I had, how guilt can catch you back in. I had a dream where a fish was dying in front of me, a flounder, and he literally grabbed this little cup and whacked me in the ankle, like, give me some water for Lord's sake. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to make this fish survive. So I went down to this junkyard and found this bucket, brought it up, and the fish had disappeared. And I spent the next part of my dream searching for this fish. And the dream was telling me, look, let guilt go. Especially if it's disappeared, do you want to keep on searching for more guilt? Do you want to keep on searching for more past trauma? Do you want to keep on searching for more annoying people to come into your life? Do you want to keep on going around in a loop like that? It's time to just take our power back and stand up so that we can see this new adventure that's coming our way. That's what the energy is all about at the moment. So thank you, cards, and thank you, guides, for clearing that out. Bit of clarity there, I felt. Let's keep going with this general reading. I'll just get another pack so we're all clear with. I think I'm going to have to invest in a couple more packs of cards too. General. Let's clarify the Palace of Wands. They said, haven't you already clarified that? Okay, more messages. Any more messages? Any more messages? No, now let's get out. Yeah, here we go. More messages. they're telling me it's like a hard place, between a rock and a hard place at the moment. Just hang in there. Don't attach to too much drama, trauma, anything like that. Just ride the wave at the moment. It's especially this week, just things, there are going to come, you know, some beautiful things are coming our way, but we really do need to just ride the wave at the moment. Yeah. I don't do anything like astrology. I have no idea where the planets and all of those are. This is all just channeled information for me. Sometimes I'm amazed with afterwards. Sometimes I will trip up over some astrologist on YouTube and go, oh my God, that is actually what I was tapping into. Kind of like when I got the download to tap into Palladian energy, and then I get told afterwards, oh, there's actually a vortex there opening up for people. Oh, I can see why now they're telling me to let go of that and move on. Okay, because the first card that came out was celebrations. So this is where we're going. This is what we can literally, okay, they're telling me not going. We can literally tap into this energy now. But you have, that's lifting us into the higher frequencies, out of the game playing of those, getting caught in the web of that lower energy. And it was followed by the magicians. So we really do have the power within us now. We have all the tools within us to be able to start seeing the advantage points, So that's really cool. Hey, Kelly, thank you for your general reading. Resonates with me big time. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. It's really good to see my family. I love you guys. You really are my family. Okay, and we have the Tower in reverse. So to me, is if you were stuck in that old energy, then it would have been an absolute tower of having all that stuff that you're still holding on to with the old program falling away. So there's going to be people out there that are going to be going through this tower, I feel. We get it in reverse, so it's more of an implosion. I can kind of see this, like the light. If you take that tower away, it almost looks like that tower is like a beautiful scene in amongst two dark things where the people are falling away, and you can see the scenery. It's like fire going into foliage, into a new scenery. So you're stepping through, they're showing me like two cliff lines, two cliffs, and instead of clinging to the cliffs, you're stepping through into this whole new paradigm. So that's a really nice tower moment for you. In other words, it's a good one. It's got an advantage to you. It's like a shift in your reality, but a shift for the better, because you're no longer needing to worry about. You realize the more you worry about things, the more that you cling into things. You've already learned that lesson, that it just brings more and more of that to you. But the more you just sit still within yourself and allow energies to bring you the gifts, then they will literally bring you these gifts. That's really nice. So that's cool. Ooh. I'll throw the dice as well. The dice are coming up with 3, 8, and 9. 9 was on its side. So 3 was further away. 3 is like a collaboration with people coming in to help you, but it was further away on the dice throwing. So that means that it's like people still coming into your reality to help guide you and shift into these new frequencies, and you work together with them, but they're still in a bit of a distance. 8 is coming into your own abundance, figuring out what your abundance means to you. That's important at the moment, because everybody has their own. There's nothing wrong if you want to be mega rich, and there's nothing wrong if you just want to log cabin in a simple life. There's nothing wrong if your abundance means more freedom of adventure. nothing, there's no judgment here. Absolutely. That's the one thing that I learned for the Pleiadians. You'll see in the videos, there's absolutely no judgment on somebody's soul and what they desire. It doesn't matter if they want to be, you know, top of a friggin' mountain or in a beautiful, amazing, elaborate. It doesn't matter to them. Really interesting. And then we have the 9 on the side, which is like resting, and that 9 to me, the bringing up the actual numerology for 9 is humanitarian work, working with, like if you were rolling the 9 number for numerology, it would be humanitarian, stepping out and working for the people, like coming to the edge of something, end of something, some cycle. That's why it's humanitarian at the moment, because humans are coming to the edge of one cycle and moving into a whole new other game. So it's like putting that last piece of the puzzle in the puzzle, but it's on its side. So it's like, this is the job. 8 is the focus, and 3 is what's coming, like people working together. So that's cool. Now let's get into just pulling one of these beautiful cards out. Saw those clips just before you said it. I love that, isn't it fun? And that's the other thing that comes, is we have this clarity within us, because we're no longer using up all of our energy to play the logic game of ruling. We all of a sudden have this new energy supplied to us, where we can start to have a focus of tapping into other people's energy, what they're going to say, what they're going to do. I woke up from jumping through a portal into a different time, and then the second post that was on my Facebook when I just woke up, you know, you reach for the phone sometimes, and I just scrolled down, and the second post was somebody who did time jump into the future. I'm like, it's so friggin' ironic how that happens. And that's when you start to think, I'm creating this reality. This is my energy. Hey, Bobby, Maureen. Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. So good to see everybody. Okay, let's pull up another card. See if another card wants. These ones do tend to have, because they're quite big, and so they're hard to shuffle and let something pop out, because they're very stiff as well. So this one looked like it wanted to come out. And it's called the Ruby Star Flow. I embody my authentic and sensual essence. So it's very grounding energy, like grounding all of this beautiful essence of how sensual everything is in the way that we are with ourselves. If you're single, really, you know, start to love who you are. If you're single and you want to be in a relationship, love who you are, and start loving your body and appreciating who you are and your intelligence and everything more and more and more. Very important at the moment. Everything, also they're telling me things are going to happen in divine timing. So it might feel like you've been waiting a long time for something, but there is an actual divine timing in place here. And that's why they're saying just ride the waves as they come, because if we stepped into having all of the gifts that we want straight away, and yet there wasn't enough energy coming our way to hold that, like support the bottom of the bucket, it would just start falling through, and then we would feel like it's doing the same cycle again as what happened when we were following logic, which is going against the energies, and that would be like we would gain monetary, we would gain love, and then would fall through, and then it just kept doing that because we weren't in line with the energies. But now we're just grounding with the essential card, grounding the energies, creating a solid base for our bucket, so that when the new energies, really like the new gifts, come in for us, we're very strong and stable with them. They are ours for now, for keeps, and they're not something that's going to fleet away. So we will, when we start to step then into being more telepathic, or then we say, this is mine, and I'm standing in my power to say this is mine. It's not a fleeting, 10 years ago I had a telepathic experience, so I know it's true, but it's just fleeting. You know, it's more of a, this is our reality now. So that's what's happening. We're literally grounding things, and it might feel like it's drawing out. The patience is needed, but it's very valid for this time. We're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong that's going on here. Yeah. We are all doing absolutely freaking amazing, guys. So I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. And then we will start. If anybody wants to have a reading too, I'll pull one more card from my Osho. And then if anyone wants to have a reading. Oh, I love it. And it just flew out. And what is it? Moment to moment, living in the moment. Exactly what I was saying. That's this moment to moment card is literally telling us to let go of that old program and trust that right now, right here, right now, I'm with you guys. My mind is not on my daughter who just woke up or anything like that. My mind is not on my cat. My mind is not on my job that I'm going to go into after this, or even my Palladian. It's right here, right now. It's exactly what I'm saying. It's exactly where my mind is. When we're really present in that, we're moving via creating our life. We are learning to take the reins of our reality. We're navigating through our emotions and all of that. So that's really cool. Okay, so it's such a good reminder to be aware of divine timing. Yeah, it is. Amy's card for today is, I'll just clarify with that one too, or another card rather. Okay, so we have Amy. Let me step into you. So you have the card of Judgment. Okay, so it's these people are like Yahoo. My things, I can literally see things coming into my life that I love, that I know, you know, if my heart was judged now, I could receive. There's a Judgment card to me is like receiving that the essence of source energy is judged upon you. If you've always come from your heart, then that will be the gifts that are coming into you. If you always try to manipulate and annoy the shit out of everyone, then it might not be so good. But usually when the Judgment card comes up, it means that that person has been judged in accordance to the heart as light as a feather, is what they're telling me. Heart as light as a feather. So that means that all the work that you do, you will start seeing rewards. You might not have seen rewards. You might not even see rewards now, but it is coming in. Just hang in there. Have some strength about yourself. The victory is in the background. It is coming. Just hang in there a little bit longer with you. So that's for Rita. That was for, Amy. Would love to have a reading today. Leanne. Put my towels away. Okay, Leanne, you're stepping out of controlling something because it was in the reverse. So you're finally understanding that controlling outside yourself's really not going to help them, you. It just ends up causing more restrictions in life. but don't go into compromising your value as well. So just find a balance between that. Telling me, instead of looking outside yourself to control something and you realizing that that doesn't work, and then you go, okay, then I'll compromise. There's not a great, see, they're quite kind of sleazily looking at each other like, okay, I'll give in to that. And then you feel like there's a bit of a as well. Instead of doing this, but telling me to bring it back to you, just sit quiet with yourself and go, okay, I love who I am, and step out into the world with that. I love who I am. I always come from my heart. And so when you walk into a dynamic that isn't conducive to you, and someone's trying to annoy you and you feel like you have to either control or compromise, then whatever you make your choice from, if it is if it's coming from I love who I am and I love that I come from my own heart, doesn't matter what you do next, because it's coming from a different place. It's not coming from trying to control. It might be the same thing that you do. You might come into a compromising situation, but it's coming from your heart. It's not coming from a lack of, or coming from, oh, I'll give in then, that sort of feeling. So that's the message for you today. What else have we got here? We got Guardian 98. Yeah, so if anyone wants a full reading, they are on my website, and the links are down below. Do Zoom to Zoom, and I rarely get into it. Like I start with maybe a couple of tarots or questions, and then the engine revs up and off I go. And it's really interesting. I've noticed each person that I've tapped into has a totally different energy. Sometimes I come through as very kind and gentle, and then other times it's like this forceful energy comes through, and I'm like, very leadership quality about the reading. Interesting. So, but we are reading for Guardian at the moment. Guardian. Okay, Guardian, you got the card of patience, and everyone's like, I hate the card of patience. We're actually literally all going through this at the moment, so don't be too hard on yourself or anything. The card of patience is just enjoying what the process is right here, right now. You know, maybe not a lot's happening around you, but that's a good thing, right? Not too much drama, not too much of anything. And these new energies and how they're shifting us up, it's actually a good thing. So really enjoy the small things at the moment. Really enjoy the small things, because this came in reverse. Change is upon you. Big change is coming your way, and you don't want to, if you step out of being patient, then you might cause the drama, and then you end up whirling around the outside of this change and getting like in a tornado, getting swung around with it. So, but if you stay in the patience now with these new energies shifting up, then when they really, big change does come in, you're centered. You're just centered because you're just enjoying the moment. You might even not even notice, and all of a sudden, a month down the track or a few months down the track, you go, oh my God, everything has changed. Wow, that sort of feeling is coming through for you. Okay, so who's next? If I miss anyone, sorry. I'm just going to go down what I can see. Cheryl, yep. Cheryl. Okay, Cheryl. Hang on a sec. Okay, Cheryl, you got the Miser card. You're like, what? The Miser card? You got the Miser card. we've been taught in our reality to hold on to things, and that means that we're going to stay safe. And they're asking you to give a little. It'll be an experience that shifts you into the next level of your own consciousness. They're saying it's not like you don't give, but they want you to shift it up to giving from your heart, like we can do everything in this reality. It's not what we do, it's the frequency that we do it from. So if we give to people because we're feeling vulnerable, because we want them to love us, because we feel like it might bring us something back, then that is not, it's still coming from lack. They're wanting you to experience giving just purely from the essence of your heart, and knowing that you are supported 100% by you just being enough. And that is going to bring in this amazing experience for you of realizing where some of your blocks were. Yeah, so that's a really valuable lesson there. Okay, who else have we got to go to? Thank you. I'm feeling like I'm going through a shift right now. I will practice patience. Spot on. You're welcome. And it's not just me, it's my guides as well. Who else are we going to do? Sorry, I'm kind of getting confused with who I've done and who I haven't. Oh, thank you, Suzette. Highly recommend Bobbie's reads. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of information that comes out with my readings sometimes, and then it's best if you record them on the phone, because later on you'll go, what did they say through me, really, is what it is. And I cannot wait, guys, to show you this new video, stepping through a portal into Pleiades. I'm so darn excited about this. I have created the pictures myself because I wanted them to be as authentically real as I possibly could get without literally visiting Pleiades and taking photographs. So there's some really just awesome, amazing imagery that's come through, that they've poured through me, and they've also guided me. It's really interesting. I'm like, I have a picture that I create, and then all of a sudden they'll say to me, yeah, but there's something missing, isn't there? And I'll be like, yeah, there is. And then I'll go on to, going to get some free downloads or whatever. And it's like they take me straight to the one. And I'm like, and my logical mind is like, is that going to fit? And they're like, yeah, it is. And then I put it on and I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. They're literally, and they're also showing me how to run the program. Like, they're telling me, because I'm self-taught with everything. They're saying to me, go here, do this with the actual program, or you can actually try this. And then I try it and it works. And I'm like, wow, they're really completely present with me in this next stepping through a portal. I'm so excited about it. And it's also bringing me this very beautiful feeling, which I feel I'm grounding for you guys. Okay, sorry, let's get into another reading. Clarity about Claire. So, Callie. Okay, Callie, you got two cards, very opposing cards, totally different. You've got the mind, so being a little stuck in your own mind games of the logic, what thinks that if there's not enough mind happening, because we've been taught that when we were at school, right? When we were at school, we were at a desk, and then we would look out the window, and what's the first thing our teachers would say? Stop imagining, come back to the classroom, stop being airy-fairy, stop that sort of thing. They don't like you to go off in a fantasy land when they're trying to teach you And yet it's like how many hours a day that they're doing that. Like it's too long, I feel, for a child to be in a logical mindset. They told me that my children also had to do homework, and I told them no. And I was probably the only parent that did. And then they said, we revise our homework. And I'm said, we'll give them something else to do. They do enough logical work at school. And funnily enough, even though I pulled them off their homework in primary school, when it come to high school, I said, it's up to you now. And they want to study. They want to do better. So that's really cool. Here is the mind card. So we've got to be careful not to get trapped into that program of only following the mind, because this is the whole energy that we're letting go of, because it's only been taking us round and round in circles. They want you to become more playful. So that's what I was saying to my children, need to be more playful, not just do all the studying and everything and feeling like if they don't get top of the marks. Well, funnily enough, even though they didn't get top, they actually are getting top of the marks now, not because I've ever pushed them, but because that's what they intentionally want to do. That's their own decision now, and I've never pushed them, and I took them off the school's homework, so that wasn't pushed through them. So they're wanting you to come back into finding out what's a playful energy for you. What can you do that creates playfulness instead of being trapped in your mind? Next time you find your mind going in a loop of just feeling yucky about things, switch it up and say, what can I do right now that's going to make me have more fun? And just do it. Go and enjoy. See if you can enjoy your life a little bit more than playing the mind game. Yay. I remember being hit around the legs many times for daydreaming. Yeah, Kiwi. Yeah, and New Zealand I'm from New Zealand too. It was a big thing. It was very programmed out of us to use our imagination, and yet our imagination is extremely valuable. It holds soul memory. It can shift our reality. It can shift problems. So important. And once we learn how to use it, and this is really what we're doing, because we haven't even learned properly how to use our imagination, majority of humanity anyway, to be conducive into creating and carving a new path for ourselves. Because they wanted us indoctrinated into the system. And so the system was only logically based, and any imagination was coming from a hierarchy that was telling people how to do it. And they would use our imagination against us as well. So infiltrate us with programming and stuff like that. Yeah, rewatch it, Dave. So, I was pulling a card for nobody, but let's just go with this anyway. The wisdom that came through was a traveling card. So this traveling card is an amazing card that's coming. So this is for everybody. This traveling card is an amazing card. It comes out when something really amazing is coming for us. Beautiful, something incredible. And because we're talking about imagination, that's why they really want us to start to sit in this present moment awareness of being patient. Use this energy of just sitting here to imagine the best scenario you can go, because you can get it. You can achieve whatever you like in the future, for the future. It's all there for us to just align ourselves with. And I do feel with these new energies of like tapping into the Pleiadians and stuff like that, and eventually many of us who are aligned with their energy will literally get visitations from them to help guide us as well. They wanted to go through the protocol of the so-called ones in charge, but that didn't happen, which is actually a blessing, they're telling me, in disguise, because that failed. It allowed them the access through source energies, shifting up the energy to go through all of humanity that was really in the right frequency. So anyone now has the ability to shift their, and they always would have in the end, because they would have gone through the leaderships first, but they sort of would have probably had a limited way of going through to the people if the leaders had said yes, because they're still dealing with people with lack, coming from their lack in their own programming. But now it's just like a broad, if you've risen your frequency into their frequency, then you have more chance in the future for them to actually come and visit you. So that's really interesting that they brought that up now, because I have noticed that there's been a few more people saying that they're seeing lights in the sky and stuff like that. I actually haven't seen anything for a while, because I think it's because I'm really I'm grounding these feelings and I trust them so much now. I've seen a lot in my life, so maybe I don't need to. Yeah. Okay, let's leave it at that. Understand the mind and need to reprogram how we live again. I love imagination as it was when I was young. Thank you. Appreciate it. That you're welcome, Callie. Lessons are coming and going as we go through all of these new energy shifts. It's a really important time at the moment, and I don't think we I think we realize it because so much change is happening. But when we look back, we'll probably go, holy crap, I'm so proud of who I am and how far I've come. When you look back, you'll realize just how much intenseness you shifted through. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Love you guys heaps. Until next Tuesday, I will definitely be here. I'm going to do this once a week, every Tuesday, or Tuesday morning for me, but probably Monday night for you guys over on the other side of the world. And look out for that new Pleiades stepping through a portal, although I think there's going to be another couple of weeks involved there, because it's a big thing, a big work thing that I'm doing. I'm not just putting the music, the video together, the messages that are coming through. I'm also creating the imagery, the pictures. So it's a lot of work. And I cannot wait to share this with you guys, because it will ground their energy for you guys to grab and be able to communicate with them in the future and have more visitations and more information coming through for you. And that's really what I want. I want everyone to be empowered. That's my whole game. Love you guys. Bye.